Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Talk about this heavyweight topic, man. Seen Dillian White, and I'm gonna leave a J Jerk was good, man. First in the building, damn near like always. But I'm gonna leave a link. Joseph Brown, what's up, man? Salute. Dago 619, Cali Factor up in here. But yeah, I saw the article today, man, with Dillian White uh, talking about his hit list. All right, I'm gonna wait till a few more people get in here. But before we talk about that, man, I can't wait for this damn Charlo and Harrison, man. I just watched the presser, the last press from yesterday. Man, they selling the fuck out this fight, man. I can't even lie about that. I'm watching the second or the first fight again. Went back and watching some of their fights, even the fights that Harrison has lost. He was doing well in them fights, man. End up getting caught. And Charlo has that type of punching power to where I think he can catch and hurt Harrison. Um, a lot of people thought Charlo won this first fight. My wife, she's in her opinion, she don't see how you can give Harrison more than 3 rounds. But just watching it, it's sometimes fights like this is hard to score sometimes, man. Because it can be a round where the other guy's being aggressive. He can be aggressive with his body language, and you can tell he's the more aggressive fighter, but he's coming forward, missing shots, and the other guy is doing defense. And I can see people scoring those rounds to Charlo because shit, he's the one that's trying to be aggressive, you know what I mean? And Harrison was on the defense. But though Harrison was doing some good boxing, some good countering, using his jab, taking a step backwards, circling off. You know what I mean? And the dude does have 21 knockouts, man. You can say, well, again, too, but the dude does have some type of pop in his hands, man. And I think that he made Charlo respect him to a degree in the fight. Let me see. Lawrence, let me see who all up in here now. Lawrence Williams, what's good, bro? DB, what's up, man? He said South Central LA up in here. Let's get it. Rory Tabordi, he said should have been Luis Ortiz. Yeah, we gonna get to that in a second. My man Lawrence Williams up in here. Was good, bro? Yeah, Joseph Brown. Harrison is a fool, man. Um, and Charlo comes off to me, even in the first fight, even like when this fight began for the first fight where he didn't want to touch hands, and that's fine. You don't want to touch hands. I know a lot of fighters, they wouldn't even look at that. I remember Oscar De La Hoya comes to mind because when he would bounce around in the ring, he'll have his head looking up while he's like biting down on his mouthpiece. He didn't want to look at his opponent. A lot of fighters were like that. I know Floyd sometimes will look at guys who kind of look off to the side and kind of rock back and forth, looking off to the side, and he'll kind of tap gloves. A lot of guys would do different things. Some guys wanted nothing more but to stare you in your eyes like Mike Tyson. All right, so everybody was different, like a Sonny Liston. Everybody was different, right? But Charlo comes across, man, like, and it's just me, but his person, he comes across towards Harrison like he's almost surprised, like Harrison's not intimidated of him, or he comes across like he just doesn't respect Harrison, his win, his previous wins before that. He just doesn't respect him at all. And it almost, it's like, bro, but you did walk away with the L. You know what I mean? You didn't get knocked out or beat from pillar to post, but he just comes across like he doesn't respect him at all. You know what I mean? So that's me playing psychologist, man. I can't wait for this fight though, man. I cannot wait for this damn fight. Let me see here. Jake Jerk, okay. Kami Sanders up in here says Dillian better hit the gym because Wilder's going to hit him and hurt him badly. My man, boxing conversation with Reg Yolens. Y'all go listen to my bro, man, and subscribe to my man Lawrence Williams as well. Who else up in this thing? Denise Wards, good evening. Yep, Reg Owens, I agree. Let me acknowledge this super chat, man. Show my appreciations for those who appreciate me. Laws D, the pimpin'. Laws D, Punch Out TV. What's good, man? My UK brother. He says, what's good, Mr. Boxer, today? My good brother. Just chilling, man. About to talk about Stormy B Man up in here. Salute to him as well. Y'all go subscribe to him. But that's my thoughts on the Harrison Charlo. Just Charlo comes across like he doesn't respect him, and he's almost like appalled that Harrison's not intimidated. You know what I mean? That's just the body language, man. Um, but man, their little back and forth verbal sparring, that even their little face off they did prior, and the presser from yesterday, just entertaining. Grade A. I can't even front on that, man. Get you hyped up for it. Joseph Brown up in that super chat. Appreciate that $5 holla. He says Harrison by a 12 round UD. He's in better shape and he's going to style on Charlo. He's the better boxer. And I'm thinking Charlo may come in tense and just tight and want to just to knock him out because he's so pissed off at him. He said been training harder. And usually guys that fight in the manner of Charlo come forward, aggressive, fast, sharp, hard punchers. I don't see him. I can see him probably fighting a little bit more loosely, kind of waiting to set things up, throw some filler punches to land big, to place big shots. Because in this fight, look like everything just like he's punching like you get what I'm saying? Like he's punching to throw everything on it where he's like tight almost. Harrison seemed more fluid with his defense, with his offense, going in and out from defense to offense. You know what I mean? Whereas and that can play a factor, man. That can burn your energy. You know what I mean? It can get you frustrated. You know what I mean? And it was never a knock that Harrison wasn't a good boxer. It was just people was questioning his chin in some of his fights. You know what I'm saying? And he's been out for a year. Some people think that may affect him. I know Charlo and some fans think that his ankle injury was false. You know what I mean? But Lawrence Williams with the $5 holla. I appreciate that, bro. He says thanks for the content. Oh man, much appreciated, man. Let me do this for Laws D. Trying to rent you up, Laws D, but it ain't let me, man. My YouTube is something else, man. Neutral Natural says Charlo needs to use more angles to beat Harrison. Stop moving in a straight line. Correct, bro. And I'm watching right. He's moving in a straight line. I'm watching the first fight. And what he'll do is he'll move in a straight line, then he'll duck occasionally, but he's still right there in front of Harrison. As long as he can use that jab on him and use that reach and wrap Charlo up on the inside. You know what I mean? DB says Tony's acting out of character, though. He says calling Mellow nigga and doing odd things that he hasn't done before. I think he's trying to meet, well, you could say that, but you also got to realize, what's this nigga from Detroit, man? You know what I mean? So you know that's how he probably really talks, and I'm sure he's been in gyms like that. He probably just ain't had nobody to really take him to that point. Now, I haven't watched all of his pressers through his whole career, so I'm not going to front and act like I watched all his pressers. I haven't. So I can't put a seal on that. Maybe you have, bro, but I haven't. So I haven't seen his demeanor in every interview and every presser leading up to these Charlo fights. But I'm sure he has that embedded in him, shit talking. I mean, he's from Detroit, man. You know what I mean? So and shouts out to Detroit. You know what I mean? But I think he's trying to meet Charlo's energy. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, I do talk about guys getting out of character, but I think he's trying to just meet his energy. You know what I mean? Now, if Charlo didn't have that type of energy and he was just being cool, calm, collective, and then Harrison was acting out regardless, then I'll be like, damn, he being too extra. But I think he's trying to just meet his energy and tell him. And I think he's trying to just verbally say, hey, man, did you forget you lost, bro? Because Charlo comes across as this like, and it could just be the competitor in him, man, to where he can't believe he lost. And I see nothing, ain't nothing wrong with that. But I could just tell he don't respect Harrison, man. He don't respect the win. He don't respect his style. I think he just looks at him as a dude that's been knocked out a couple times. But we're going to see tomorrow night. You know what I mean? That's the best thing about this. I can see Charlo catch him. I think he has still enough pop to catch Harrison. But if he lets Harrison control the pace, man, like right now he's just missing coming forward, coming in a straight line, not really attacking the body, and Harrison's keeping the jab on him. And these were the type of rounds the judges were giving him. The rounds where he's coming forward, Charlo, missing, tight, going for haymakers, and then Harrison using the jab, keeping him at bay. And then when Harrison was aggressive, and he'll come forward like he just did in this third round with 48 seconds left, or it was 50 seconds left. Charlo put up the high guard, let him get off, and then he let Harrison reset with the jab. And he's walking Harrison backwards. You know what I mean? He still lost a fight walking him back. So it's like, it wasn't like he wasn't being aggressive. I think he needs to be aggressive in a much more effective way. And I think work the body, because right now he's head hunting. He's missing big haymakers, just as flashy. Ooh, good right hand by Harrison. Good left hook by Charlo. Charlo's going to have to get him to get into a continuity of wanting to exchange. But this pace right here, jab, 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 right hand, jab, jab. Harrison's going to control that type of fight. He has to force him to get into an exchange. And he better be ready when he does it, because right there he got caught with a left hook and it made Charlo change the southpaw. Usually that means I didn't like what you just did. Towards the end of that third round, there was a little flurry that Harrison caught Charlo with, and Charlo went to southpaw. Usually that means I don't like what you just hit me with. You know what I mean? For sure, Stormy B, man. Appreciate that $5 holler, man. He says I'm extending the invite. I'm extending an invite to you in the eye of the storm soon. Yeah, bro. I'm definitely gonna get on there with you, man. I'm trying to make my rounds, bro. Get on everybody's live streams. I did the OG boxing. Damn, I have to jump off soon. I did the OG boxing talk. I wanna go on D Styles as well. Definitely want to slide on your channel too, man. Let me go over this real quick. Dillian White comes out with his hit list, right? He said he was open to fight Povetkin, Ruiz, Otto Wallen, and Manuel Char. First, before I get into those opponents, who do y'all want to see him fight the most? I thought there's some guys he could have added. Ortiz for one. Um, Ortiz is the main guy that I thought he could have added. You know what I mean? I know why he wants Wallen because Wallen name is attached to Tyson Fury, and it could be a situation where Wallen just fought out of his skin that night, and maybe just the style clash. But all in all, that's Wallen's by far biggest opponent, biggest name on his resume by far, not even close. And it's odd, man. Like that was his really, y'all. That was his first step up fight. Was against Tyson Fury. He had no Marius Wax, no Ustinovs, no Helenius, no Lucas Browns. He went straight from fighting literally, not fringe contenders. He went straight from fighting journeymen to Tyson Fury and performed the way he did. It's like, damn, is it a knock on Tyson Fury or is it just props to Wallen or is it some of both? But that is telling to me, man. That's really telling to me that a guy goes straight from prospect fighting journeyman level to fight one of the top three heavyweights and putting on a performance. You know what I mean? He lost though. But one thing I'll say about White, I like his opponents, even though it didn't include Luis Ortiz. You could probably throw some other guys in there as well. But the fact that he wants to, and, oh yeah, and Michael Hunter, that's another one. I think that's super dangerous too. Michael Hunter and Luis Ortiz, super dangerous. Adam Konaki be a good one as well. Jarrell Miller, you know what I mean? But Povetkin, cool, 40 years old. But then Dillian, okay, but if Dillian does that, even though Povetkin's shown that in the Hunter fight that he still got something left, Dillian can't. My man Dillian can't. Dillian can't talk shit about guys fighting 40-year-olds. You know what I mean? Or Ortiz is old. Okay, you said Ortiz is old, but you want to fight Povetkin. Like, so you got to make your mind up, man. And that's why people think you don't want to smoke with Ortiz because of things like that, things just like this. I'm sitting here like, man, ain't Povetkin 39, 40, or like literally getting ready to turn 40, or is he 40 already? You know what I mean? One thing I have to say, man, that dude have to come in shape. Because what we saw in Saudi Arabia, if he comes like that fighting any of those guys, I'm picking the other guy if he come in like that. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Scrapbook Boxing. I seen him up in here. Y'all go subscribe to Scrapbook. He's definitely have to be in shape, yo. Definitely. Definitely, man. And then he also went to say that Wilder's a coward and he's going to slap Wilder when he sees him. I mean, that sounds good. You know, it gets the internet going, gets people under his Instagram saying, yeah, you know, but he ain't going to smack nobody, man. He's not going to do it. Wilder even spoke about it on a 78 Sports TV interview. Shouts out to 7-8. Um, I believe it was 7-8, or it could have been the box. I think it was 7-8, though. But he said that they were at some function. This was not too long ago. They were at some, I think it was a WBC function. I could be. They were at some function where Deontay Wilder didn't even know that Dillian White was in the same room. He said it took him a while to even know that he was in there because he was so quiet. You know, Dillian's usually loud and boisterous and all this, but he said he didn't even know they were in the same room. And the dude didn't say anything. But then when you're thousands of miles away, you'll slap him, you'll do this and you'll do that. And now, again, with Mr. Boxing, he's just doing it to, just sell the fight, sell his image. Okay, but sometimes though, man, when you say things like this, people are looking for you to prove these things, that you're confrontational. You know what I mean? Now, again, you might rebuttal and say, well, Mr. Boxing, the function they were at, he couldn't have been confrontational because it wouldn't have been the professional thing to do. Okay, but you're fighters and people know y'all get down like that. You know what I mean? But I don't believe none of that. I don't believe none of it. Do I think he'll act out at a presser where there's people between them? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's going to do any of that. And him calling Wilder a coward, I mean, this is Dillian White just talking shit, man. And then he says Wilder's scared of him. And this whole narrative of Wilder being scared of him, I don't see how he thinks that. You know, just doesn't make any sense at all. There's a pecking order, man. And going into the Fury fight, a lot of us want to see Deontay Wilder fight Fury, fight AJ. Yeah, we want to see him fight White, but that's like the second tier fights we want to see. We want to see the Joshua fights and Ortiz, especially when he was undefeated. All those guys who we thought some people had rated in front of Dillian White. But fast forward, I definitely want to see Dillian White get his chance. And I like the fact that Dillian White wants to fight an opponent like a Ruiz, a Povetkin, those type of guys. I'm glad he's not going straight journeyman because even I suggested, and I'll raise my hand, I did suggest, I said, you know what? If he wants to maintain his mandatory spot, make sure he don't take a L, do what Pulev does. Fight fucking Kevin Johnson and the old St. Peter. I wouldn't even be mad. But Mr. Boxing, you always lobby for the best guys fighting the best guys. I do. But in this unique situation, I just don't want no excuses. I don't want no. Them is some tough fights. These are not gimme fights for Dillian White. And that's the one thing I like about Dillian White, y'all. I like that he's willing to do this type of shit. I don't like that he didn't fight Brazil and Ortiz when that was his direct shot to get the Wilder. I didn't like that. But I do like that he wants to take these fights in the meantime, in between time. I like that. Because I was even suggesting, hey man, fight some French contender as type guys to just stay sharp. So that way we'll have no excuses about a loss or anything. But if he wants to do this shit, credit to Dillian White. I would look, man. I may criticize dudes, but when I like they moves, when I like a move they make, I'll also say that as well. You know what I mean? So I like this move as a fan. And he said he wants to be back in the ring end of March, April. Those dates let me know that he wants to possibly be on one of the AJ undercard. Um, I doubt him wanting to be on the undercard of Usyk and Chisora. So I know they're going to fight like in March. I think March 7th is the day for them. And AJ's coming back like the first week of April, something like that. So I think it'd be better for him to be on that AJ undercard because it's going to be, I think more people are going to tune in to watch that than they will the Usyk and Chisora. You know what I mean? But that's all we want. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. Let me see what y'all talking about up in this piece. I can't wait to see this fight though, man. It's Charlo versus Harrison, man. This rematch. Let me see. Let me go up here real quick. Mark Blake up in here was good. Romanian Mike. Neutral Natural says Harrison had bad stamina. That's why he was stopped twice by Willie Nelson and Hurd because stamina. Yeah, you could say that because when he was getting caught late, some of those punches he was getting caught with earlier and they really didn't have effect. But like you said, the stamina started to pump in, started to get a little bit tired. He say, he had a year, man, to get back right, get his mind right. Whether you believe the ankle injury or not, to heal that, if you believe it or not. And now we're gonna see how hungry he is to keep his title. But this fight right here, man, I can see why he was winning some rounds, man. Like, there's nothing lucky about none of this. There's nothing. I think that Charlo started to respect him to where he knew he couldn't just rush in and just go full bore, but he would do it. But Harrison's making a miss and counter on back. Let me see. My man Red Jordan says if Harrison pulls this win, he'll become a star with the level of entertaining shit talking he does. I agree. He got the mouthpiece. He got the first win. Now he just needs the second win, like you said, to just seal it and get him into a big fight. Or even, well, shit, this is a big fight, but even just his star power, rather. And like he said, his followers going to go up. Man, they had me cracking up, man. They had me cracking up. And you can tell Charles was getting frustrated in this fight because right then he just dropped his hands again and was shaking his shoulders at the end of this round. What round was this? 5 or 6? You can see the frustration on Charlo during some of these rounds. Because why? Because Harrison wasn't giving him the fight that he wanted. And he couldn't just impose his will on Harrison either. He tried it, and then it seems as if Harrison showed him like, hey man, I'm physically strong. I may come across as the boxer guy, but motherfucker, I can wrap you up too and negate you from just running me over in the clinch. Neutral Natural said Harrison needs to jab. He needs to just land hard jabs and stiff body shots. Denise Ward says White needs to stop it. Yeah, White be tripping sometime, man. Denise Ward says Shasha's been around. Yeah, he has. But hey, y'all, this was a super duper short one, man. But I'm trying to keep my consistency up, man. Even if I don't go, Ewan Carter says White making it worse for himself. Even if I don't stay on for like an hour and 30 minutes like I do sometimes, just trying to keep my consistency up with these lives, man. So only be able to do a quick one today. But I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow, man. We're gonna chop it up again, man. I'm gonna go ahead and continue watching these fights and try to watch a few more of their other fights, man. And then tomorrow, before the fight, I'm gonna do a breakdown of what I think. Although I was kind of breaking it down now, but it's gonna be dedicated to just this fight. Although damn near this video was damn near dedicated to this fight. But we gonna chop it up again, man. Just a lot of intrigue, a lot of excitement for this one, man. So until it happens, we gonna talk about it. Y'all be easy, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. I'm gone.